how satisfying is it for you to fight guys like Lorenz Larkin, who obviously are super successful in the UFC? They make the transition. They're ranked high in the UFC.
Yep.
And I was saying the same thing to Rory, where, some people might have the assumption that, Bellator's a step behind UFC, or they just don't know.
Yeah.
Or I also said this to Rory as well, as, at the 170-pound division, I would rank you. I mean, you can fight anyone, whether overall in the world at 170 pounds, whether it's UFC, Bellator, name any other organization, you're a top fighter in the world. So I think it's good that these guys come over and you kind of show your skill set.
Yeah. I mean, it's an opportunity pretty much, I knew for a long time that I could compete with any of those guys, any of them, it doesn't matter. And proved that in my last fight, against Larkin. Man, Larkin is a tough dude. He's tough as they come, man. He's a tough striker. He wrestles when he wants to.
Yeah.
And, I pretty much beat him most of the fight, got the good decision over him. So, man, it's not going to be any different with Roy, man.
Roy's a different animal.
He's a different fighter, but, man, same jaw. Same jaw, man, I'm telling you. I know he's a good fighter, and he's been a lot. He fought, a lot of good guys out there, but, man, I'm not, I respect him for all that he's done, but comes fight time, I'm not, man, I'm the champion, I'm looking at it like, man, coming to my territory, I'm here to prove where I belong,
Do you look at the, obviously he had the big Paul Daly win, which was his first fight in Bellator. You beat Paul Daly too.
Mm-hmm.
Then before that, he's coming off 2 losses with Robbie Lawler and Wonderboy Thompson. So I don't think you're going to take too much away from the Daly fight. I guess, he struck with him a little bit, then took him down, submitted him.
Yeah.
But the fights, I think, more your style. Obviously, Wonderboy was all stand-up. Robbie Lawler was a lot of stand-up. Is that what you're kind of focus on when looking at tape on him?
Yeah, pretty much. In all of his fights, too, the past ones. I don't know. Let's see how he's going to react when he gets hit in that nose, He said he's healed. I think he's healed. But you never know, if he starts to bleed again, let's see how he's going to react to that, because I heard his fight against Wonderboy, he was having some trouble with it. I think he got popped on it first round, second round.
Yeah.
And then he was a different fighter after that, So let's see. He's a fighter, man. He fights standing, for example, he can't take me down. He's going to strike with me the rest of the fight, So he's the type of guy that I need, and he's going to bring a good fight, you know what I mean? So, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think like a win over a guy like Rory MacDonald, and you look at the list of guys he's beat, is this the validation you need to get, I don't want to say more respect, but maybe more mainstream?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Rory's a big time, as far as like legit contenders, probably the biggest signing in Bellator history, if you think about things.
For sure. I think Rory fought tough competition his whole career. Pretty much all of his fights in the UFC was against top ranked guys. He's got some good wins. He's got a win over the champion. Right now. Woodley's considered the number 1 right now.
Yeah,
because he's a champion in the UFC, and Rory beat him pretty good too. It wasn't even close. So win over him. He's gonna put me over there top 3. Hopefully, like I said, the mainstream. Everybody would know, not just the MMA fans. That's what I feel. I feel hardcore MMA fans know who I am.
Yeah,
but the rest.
Yeah,
they don't, man. It's like, who's this guy?
Do you feel any pressure to put on fights or perform? Because it's not. I don't think it's a disrespecting. It's just it takes a while for the public to get used to it. Where if you look at your resume, it kind of adds up. It's like, hold on. So he has the most knockouts. He's the number 1 knockout artist in Bellator history. Yeah. It doesn't make and that's what people are drawn to.
Yeah.
So what's he missing? I guess maybe a huge win over a huge opponent. Although Larkin's a tough guy, super tough. I wouldn't say Larkin's mainstream. Larkin's the top. I don't care where you're at in the world, top 10 guy in the world. You beat him.
Yeah,
beat Daly.
I don't know what's missing, man. I really don't. Because, man, like I said, I hold the record of KOs in Bellator. My career is pretty much a highlight for most of the fights. I finished guys. And still, people are like, man, people don't know.
Does that bother you?
It does bother at some point. Honestly, yeah, it does, man. Because, man, I'm putting in work. I'm delivering some of this, devastating KOs. There's some knockouts that's pretty bad,
Yeah, it's impressive.
And... people don't know, man. They don't see it. I don't know what's missing. of course, a win over Rory, I think it's going to change a lot of things.
Agree. It's a huge opportunity.
It's an opportunity. You know what I mean?
When you signed with Bellator, did you think you'd be? And I thought it was going to be the fight of the night. It wasn't fight of the night. It was a good performance. I think it was fight of the night. But did you think you'd be fighting at Madison Square Garden?
Never.
Never, right?
Never thought I would, man, because we started little shows, man, like casinos, middle of nowhere. You know, then I go there. I think on that fight too against Larkin, I put too much pressure on me. You know, I thought I wouldn't, but I did. There's some points on that fight where I could have pulled the trigger and could have finished, but I was like, I think fight-wise I showed too much respect. You know, because, Madison Square Garden, Larkin coming over, some great wins. And that's the thing I'm not going to do against Rory. You know, it's like, man, you fighting me. You know what I mean? He's doing that should be with the pressure and stuff like that. So that's something that I take away from that fight. You know,
was that the first fight you felt that type of pressure? Because, I mean,
yeah, it was.
Madison Square Garden, you got Fedor on the card. Yeah. You got Chael, you got Vanderlei, you got all these legends. Mm-hmm. It's the biggest night in Bellator history. You're the knockout artist. You got Lorenz Larkin. Mm-hmm. I thought both of you guys showed too much respect.
Yeah, I think so. I think him as well.
Yeah, him as well. He didn't fight like himself. You didn't fight like yourself.
Yep. Yeah, that's a mistake. You know, in a card like that, you shouldn't have that type of respect. And it's like, man, just let it go. Let it go. I watched the fight now, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It could
Still got the win, though, at least.
Yeah, we got the win, but I like to win impressive. You know, I like to go there with a big finish, not just for the fans, for myself, I want to keep that record up. I want to get those KOs and keep that list going, So, I'm not doing it this fight. I'm not holding anything back now, man. Especially against a guy like Rory. You got to bring it. You know what I mean? You got to bring it.
You got to get him into that dog fight and get after it to get him out of his rhythm.
Exactly, because, man, he can't stay comfortable there.
Yeah, if you let Rory stay comfortable, he can stay behind his jab, stick and move, and he's comfortable. You look at the Jake Ellenberg, you look at even the Woodley, he'll stick behind that jab and just win off points if you let him.
Exactly. Yeah, they can't let that happen.
But then if you go at him, then you got like a Robbie Lawler fight on your hands where he'll be like, all right, we're doing this.
I like that. I'll take
it. Yeah.
I'll take that fight over a boring fight any day.
100%.
I don't care how beat up you get after, but, man, that's a good fight right there.